it's Haley Reese and happy Christmas Eve or Merry Christmas Eve. We are so close to Christmas. I love Christmas Eve. I am actually wearing the same sweater that I wore to bake with Grandma. It's been washed, don't worry, because after I film this video, I am actually going to be editing it in the car on the way to a family Christmas party where I'm going to be uploading it, and then I'm going to be indulging in great food and drinks and family and friends. And I hope that no matter what you're doing this Christmas Eve or what you're up to, even if it's just that you're here watching YouTube, I hope you have the most beautiful, blessed, wonderful Christmas Eve, and I hope that you feel the love that I am virtually sending you from all the way here in Toronto to wherever in the world you are. I love you guys so much. Merry Christmas Eve. So in honor of it being Christmas Eve and me loving you guys with my whole entire heart, soul, and being, I'm going to be reading a fan mail, a Reese's Pieces story straight from what was mailed to me. Now I'm not going to show her address, but as you can see, this is the envelope she sent it with, and I'm going to be reading you guys something that she's experienced because oh my goodness, this is crazy. I have updates. I've been messaging her on Instagram. I asked her so long ago if I could share this story. She said I could, but I wanted to save it for a special time. So today I'm going to be sharing a story with you guys from a wonderful Reese's Pieces by the name of Sylvia, and I think you guys are going to be just as mind blown as me. So Sylvia wrote me this beautiful letter, and she started out by just telling me, you know, how much she loves my videos and how she's actually been introduced to her spirit guide and all of that, and that's beautiful and amazing, but I'm going to keep that obviously for just me. But I'm going to actually read you guys directly what is sent in, because normally when people email me in things, I remember their story and I share it with you guys, but this time, because I have it physically here in front of me, I'm going to read you guys exactly what she's written me. And then she's also been so nice as to giving me drawings of what exactly she's talking about and what it looked like, and so I'll insert those too. So here we go. So like I said, she tells me some really sweet things, and then she says, "But I am mostly writing you this letter hoping that you'll read this paranormal story and maybe tell me what happened to me this day. So basically, when I was about 6 years old, I had an imaginary friend that I legitimately called a ghost. I named her Morgan after a character in a book I liked. She had long black hair and wore a long white gown with long sleeves. All she ever did was sit on the floor in front of me and watch me play with my dolls. She never did anything else, just watched. I was not scared of her or anything. I knew she was harmless, but one day, Morgan stood up. This confused me because she never moved before. I watched her out of the corner of my eye. Then she puts in brackets, I could never look at her straight on or she'd disappear." Which I want you guys to remember this point because I'm going to come back to it when I finish this. "She went to my closet door and stood there. I looked up at my closet door. She didn't disappear this time. She motioned for me to open the door. I walked over to the closet door. She disappeared. I opened it and she was back against the wall. I got a sense that she wanted me to come closer, so I did. I climbed over all of my toys that I had piled in my closet trying to get to her. As I was climbing through my Barbies, ponies, shoes, and dresses, I noticed that all of my normal stuff was mixed in with my brother's stuff. I was suddenly in a large pile of Legos, tech decks, and his dirty clothes. I looked at Morgan confused. She pointed to the wall, and I noticed that it wasn't a wall at all. It was a door. I knew she wanted me to open it, so I did, and I found myself falling out of my brother's closet onto his bedroom floor. He was at his desk at the time, and he jumped because I startled him. "When did you get in my closet?" he asked me. He was 11 years old. "Just now," I replied. "I climbed through my closet into yours. They are connected. Come look." My brother followed me into the closet and crawled through to my room. "Huh?" he said. "I don't know how we didn't notice before." Years later, when I was about 12, I was cleaning out that same closet, and I remembered that day. I realized that my closet had no door on the other side. It was a thick, sturdy wall. Confused, I went into my brother's room, which he no longer lived in, to investigate. I looked inside his closet to find that not only was there no door to my room, no pathway, no crawl space, but that our closets don't even line up at all. So take that in, you guys. There is no possible way that you could even humanly have crawled from one closet to the next. I was so confused, Haley, because I remembered that vividly happening to me. I lost contact with my brother for a few years, but one day a few years ago, 10 years after that day, I asked him, Ben, do you remember when our closets were connected when we were little? He replied, yeah, I do. Ben, they were never connected. He didn't believe me. I had to explain it to him. He was confused too because he remembers it. I still live in that same house. We used to have all sorts of weird paranormal things happening, but this was by far the weirdest thing to ever happen to me. Haley, please, what do you think this was? A portal, a vortex, or maybe Morgan just helped us phase through a solid wall? I'm 18 years old now. It's been 6 years since I discovered the mystery and 12 years since it happened. I really want to know your thoughts because I think about it every day. I've been creeped out by my closet since the day I pieced together that this was something supernatural. Please let me know. I don't know what would be easiest for you to reply if you ever found the time to. And then she gives me her contact info and she says, thank you so much for your videos. I love each and every one of them. You're such a beautiful person inside and out. I can tell you really truly do care for all your Reese's Pieces, which I do. I'm proud to be one and I loved the 31 days of Halloween. It gives me something to look forward to each day. Sincerely, Sylvia. And then she shows me, which I'm going to take a picture of, but keep in mind, you guys, I have these stapled together. I did that on purpose so I wouldn't lose the pieces, but she shows me, you know, what her and Morgan looked like when they were playing together and how the closets never actually lined up. So that is Sylvia's story, but she has given me an update since. So let me read it to you guys quickly. So I had messaged Sylvia and just told her that I basically was baffled by her story and I think it was incredible and that if it would be okay, I'd love to share it with you guys. And she told me of course, and she even said I could use her name because I told her, you know, if she's not comfortable, I'll change her first name. And then she says, thank you so much. Keep doing what you're doing. She was so sweet. After that, she messages me and says, Haley, oh my god, I have an update. In my letter, I mentioned that other weird things had happened. Things being moved or the smell of toast at 3 a.m. None of that stuff has happened in years. I haven't seen Morgan in years. I just woke up to this text from my mom. So it's actually like a group chat. And her mom writes at 3:15 a.m. 3:12 woke up to the smell of toast. And her dad replied at 6:48 a.m. Nice. Been a while. Then she writes, now I'm freaked out because what if Morgan or whatever it is coming back because I've been talking about the incident so much recently. Sorry for bothering you, I'm just freaking out a bit. By the way, you guys never bother me. And then I said, I wouldn't be afraid considering she never harmed you, but it's interesting that once you figured out what happened, she came back. And then she messaged me again a few weeks later and said, Haley, I'm so sorry for bothering you all the time. Again, you guys never bother me. I wasn't going to tell you because I was worried you wouldn't believe me. Girl, come on, I'm the last person who wouldn't believe you. Then she says, okay, but something just happened and I'm spooked. Last week I was in the kitchen alone and I was playing music and I heard my mom say, Sylvia, and I paused my music and said, yeah, before I realized she wasn't home. Immediately my hands started to sweat because that had only happened twice before. Once to me and once to my dad, but with his mother's voice yelling his name. And then this just happened. I paint stuff in my living room and leave the paper towel there on the table. I went to paint just now and they weren't there. I asked both my parents if they had moved them and they said no. And as I was asking them if they'd seen them, my eye caught them on top of our cabinets in the kitchen, the opposite side of the house, and none of them have moved them. Everything is starting back again. And then she says, that also now I realize that sounds stupid because paper towels normally belong in the kitchen, but it's the one I use for painting and it has paint on it and we don't put paper towels on top of random cabinets. Okay, I'll shut up now, she says. And then she sent me a video, which I cannot replay now. I wish I would have saved it. Basically saying that her friend and her were in her room. She went to show her friend something she got her dad and it's missing. And then she says, this was on December 7th. Last update in case you end up deciding to make a video about my ghostie. I have a lot more updates, including my dad found out who used to live here with us, and the truth is spooky but too complicated to get into. I'm done bothering you now. I realize I've been annoying and I apologize deeply. Sending light your way. Bye. So we could have a part 2 to this because clearly Sylvia has more information, so definitely leave a comment down below if you guys want me to reach out to her and see what this update is. But that is basically Sylvia's story. Now, one thing I really wanted to take note on is the fact that she said when she looked right head on at Morgan, she would disappear. Now, this happens to so many people. Have you guys ever seen a ghost or something out of your peripheral vision? You can see them from your corner of your eye, but when you turn to look, they're gone. This happens with a lot of spirits. A lot of spirits. It happens far more often than I could explain, and it's one of the most paranormal sightings that are happened day to day. You'll see something, you'll turn to look, and it's gone. And it happens to me, and it happens to everybody. So right away I was like, she's telling the truth. Now, what I don't know is how exactly that happened. It could have been that Morgan had opened up a portal and brought her from one room to the next. It could have been the fact that ghosts can teleport, so to speak, from one place to the next, and she just so happened to open up that gateway for Sylvia and her brother. I don't know, you guys. I'm leaving this one up to you guys. I thought this was one of the most interesting paranormal stories I've ever heard, and the fact that it comes from a beautiful Reese's Pieces just makes it all the more interesting and freaky. But please make sure to let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Drop a comment down below for Sylvia. Give her some advice as to what you think she should do, what you think is going on, and how on earth you think she went from one closet to the next and there was no possible way for that to happen. Well, you guys, that is it for this Christmas Eve special. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you're having a wonderful Christmas season. I will see you guys in tomorrow's video, but until then, or until I do, I wish you guys the merriest of Christmases, and I send you all so much love and light and positivity. You guys are the best family I could have ever hoped for, and honestly, I'm not trying to sound cheesy, but you're the best Christmas gift I could have ever received, is this family. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed, please go ahead and click that subscribe button. I post a ton of videos. I don't want you to miss my upload. And please give this video a big thumbs up. It makes my heart super happy, and I really, really appreciate it, so please do that. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness. And until next time, I love you and Merry Christmas!